Ladies and gentlemen, our next panel, The Art of Dealmaking, moderated by Jing Cao, Counsel, O'Melveny and Myers, LLP, and our panel, Yu Dong, CEO, Bona Film Group, Bennett Posel, Executive Vice President, East West Bank, Ellen Eliasoff, President, CEO, Village Roadshow Entertainment Group Asia, Bruce Toby, Partner, Co-Head of Entertainment and Media Practice, O'Melveny and Myers, LLP.
Do we have a stinger or something as they go to the stage, or do we not? No. Okay, no problem. Let's send them. Are they going? There they go. Okay.
Oh, just come join us.
We should get some music going. Okay.
Yeah, we went
All right,
short,
so
right?
let's get a shot.
Okay, good. Yeah, we'll have one more chair.
Yeah, you got it.
Hello?
Cameron,
Can you
let's
hear
get a
me?
shot on her.
Hi, welcome. Welcome to join us at this panel discussion
Right there, that's good. Okay,
for
let's
the
get
art
Cameron
of
to
deal making. So we have one more speaker who was scheduled to join us today, who is the EVP of STX Entertainment. Unfortunately, due to a last-minute change to his schedule, he cannot make it.
You can hear that? I'm sorry.
It's called open mic, Bennett.
I'm pretty sure
You and Donald Trump.
I'm pretty sure he is not scared, but I'm pretty sure he's on his way to make a deal, which is a very powerful message given the topic for today's panel discussion, that he is always on the go, even though it's on a very short notice. So it's a great honor to welcome all these speakers to join me today. My name is Jing Cao. I'm a counsel at O'Melveny Myers. For many years, I have been working on entertainment and media financing transactions and cross-border transactions that involve Chinese elements. So today, we are focusing on US-China collaboration in the entertainment sector. So I will just do a very brief introduction of the speakers, many of which you have known very well. Sitting to my left-hand side is Mr. Yu Dong. Yu Dong is the founder, chairman, CEO of Bona Film Group, and he has over 16 years of experience of film distribution and received numerous recognitions. Before he founded the predecessor of Bona Film, he was with China Film Group Corporation and the Beijing Film Studio for many years. He is also the vice president of Youth Film Participant Committee of the China Film Association, a standing director of the China Film Producer Association, and the director of the China Film Distribution and Exhibition Association. Welcome, Mr. Yu. Sitting next to Mr. Yu Dong is Mr. Bennett Posel. Bennett is the EVP and head of corporate banking at East West Bank and a leading industry expert on US-China cross-border entertainment financing. His team also specializes in middle market lending, trade financing, and developing business opportunities on both sides of the Pacific. Media and entertainment lending has expanded substantially over the past 5 years under his leadership, making East West Bank one of the premier entertainment financiers in both the US and Greater China area, and the only bank with a significant presence in both markets. Welcome, Bennett. To Bennett's left is Ms. Ellen Eliasoff. She is the president and CEO of Village Roadshow Entertainment Group Asia. In her role, Ellen has led Village Roadshow Asia in its business of identifying, developing, financing, producing, marketing, and distributing feature films, which are filmed principally in the Chinese language, and designed for audience in mainland China and other Greater China markets. Ellen joined Village Roadshow in 2011 after working in the Asia film entertainment sector for 2 decades. By the way, she is fluent in Mandarin, so feel free to ask questions later at the panel if you have questions for her. Ellen has pioneered the creation of the deal structures by which Sino-foreign co-productions are developed, produced, and exploited. She was the first China-based Hollywood executive when she established Warner Brothers' Beijing office in 1993. Welcome, Ellen. To Ellen's left is Mr. Bruce Toby. Bruce is a colleague of mine at O'Melveny Myers. He is a partner and co-head of our entertainment and media practice. Bruce is a highly regarded entertainment transactions lawyer with many years of experience. He also has more than a decade of executive experience at major studios. Bruce's practice covers all aspects of production, distribution, financing, and licensing of feature film and television productions, as well as digital media. He also provides strategic and operational advice to investors and companies in both traditional and new media. Welcome, Bruce.
Thank you.
With that, let's dive into the topic for today, which is the art of deal making. So my very first question is for Mr. Yu Dong, and I'm going to address this question in Chinese for the ease of communication, of course. 所以于总，对于中美电影方面的合作，伯纳可谓是非常的熟悉。光在去年1年，你们就有2个大动作。在年初的时候，你们是宣布了会参与投资 Studio 8所制作的影片。比利·林恩的漫长中场休息，然后也是宣布你们是获得大中华地区的那个影片发行权。那据我所知的话，影片将在11月11号在中美2地同步上映。在去年年尾将近年尾的时候，也是在今年这个时候，就是 AFM 期间，你们做了一个重大的宣布，会与CILIC Group 共同投资6大片场之一的福克斯电影公司所制作的一系列的影片。这些影片都是大制作的那种 tempo movie。那在那个宣布的时候，并没有提到说伯纳是否会做任何这些影片在中国的发行。那么我的问题是说，对于伯纳在考量一个投资到好莱坞做电影的一个项目的时候，取得中国地区的发行权对伯纳来讲有多重要？那除发行权之外的话，还有哪些因素伯纳会加以考量，以决定说是否会参与一个好莱坞的电影项目？
很高兴来这个，又一年来到这个中美电影节的论坛，跟大家来分享。我觉得好像去年呢，在这个时候呢，也在这里来讲，那就像一年的作业考试一样，跟大家汇报一下这1年伯纳做了哪些事情。那么应该说，这个去年这个时候，我们投资了6部 Fox 的6部大的商业片。
对。
那么已经上映了3部电影，一部是《火星救援》，一个是《X 战警》，一个是《独立日2》。那么马上12月份还有一部叫《怪物女孩》，也即将上映，这个北美已经上映了。那么今年可能会发行4部Fox 电影了，就是伯纳不能做，因为这个是由中影引进，伯纳只是来做他的中国地区的协助的推广，那么这4部片子应该说都会取得比较好的成绩，明年还有《人猿星球》会发行，那么跟 Fox 的6大的一个合作呢，我们是建立在一个非常信任的基础上的，就是他们越来越觉得在中国有一个稳定的合作 partner 是多么的重要。那么我可以在中国市场，因为中国市场现在快速增长，票房今年可以接近500亿的票房，比去年又增长了接近这个50亿到60亿的票房，去年是440亿票房。那么中国还是一个快速成长的一个市场。那么在中国呢，这个市场蓬勃发展的同时，其实还有很多问题，比如说，如果档期不能够同步的话，会有很多盗版在中国市场，就是网络的。伯纳如果作为一个 Fox 这样一个拍档，我们可以在上映的期间协助他来打击盗版，举报这些盗播的网站的链接，然后同时给到一些证据，这是我们可以做到的事情，帮助这个市场能够有更好的效益，这是一个。 第二个呢，我们在宣传推广方面，我们也希望帮助 Fox 这几部电影能够达到一个非常好的一个新媒体这个平台的宣传，因为在中国市场，现在很多六大呢都会投很多钱，他们不惜这个成本的投了很多的硬广告，包括公交路牌的广告、电视的广告，还有很多的大的门户网站的这种硬广的15秒啊，这些30秒的硬广，但是内文的、软文的这种朋友圈、微信朋友圈这种新媒体的这种影评性的文章，博纳是可以帮他来组织，而且这些因为我们是投资的参与者，我们没有向 Fox 再另外收费用的，因为我们是一个拍档，共同有投资的收益，所以在这个阶段，我们做了很多这些方面工作，也得到了 Fox 的信任，包括在协调档期上，因为他们也有他们的渠道跟进出口、跟电影局去沟通，但是博纳也有帮助，也有责任帮助他们来实现，尽可能的实现同步上映这样的一个工作吧。我觉得变成是自己的一个事情，所以这样的一个做法呢，也令到 Fox 对博纳越来越充分信任。那么2017年，我们现在在讨论2017年是不是博纳可以更多的帮助我们的投资的电影在中国市场能够获得更好的票房。所以在这方面是一个刚刚成立的一个这个市场呢，博纳现在越来越得到了大家的认可。比如说，我举一个例子，今年我还发行了一部，虽然不是 Fox 交给我的，但是也是 Fox 做全球发行的一个电影，叫《荒野猎人》。这部是小李获奥斯卡奖的电影，但是这个电影呢，因为有很多血腥暴力的问题，在送审过程当中遇到了很多困难，因为中国的投资方呢没有这个引进发行的经验，那么中间就耽误了很多时间。当奥斯卡已经获奖的时候，这个片子还没有决定再进中国上映，如果再往后延期再放的话，会使得这个电影呢，它的这个最佳的时机就错过了，那在这个时候呢，我们主动帮助了这个奥飞这家公司，是奥飞投资的这个片子的中方的发行商，我们主动帮助他，最快时间引进，那么这个快到什么程度呢？就是说，我希望能够2周之内发行，已经奥斯卡获奖之后的2周，在中国就引进发行。那么这里边需要协调很多问题，它的报关的时间，它的技术的环节。那么有一个非常大的问题，就是它不能够译制，来不及译制了。但是中国的进口影片的发行是必须有配音版的，中文配音版的，所以我们就第一次的破天荒的把这个戏呢做到了一个什么呢？3月18号先让原版放映1周，然后第2周配音完了的中文配音版在第2周再发行。这样一个小小的突破，使得这个电影在第1周时间原版放映，英文原版放映，有 MX 中文原版的放映，获得了3个亿的票房。第2周才获得了8000万的票房，所以整个这个电影获得了3.8亿的票房，是一个作为一个艺术片来讲，是一个最高的票房记录，就是因为抢到了奥斯卡的这个获奖的效应，又及时的请到了小李子来中国做宣传，所以这样的一个默契的配合，使得这个电影在中国取得了很好的成绩。所以呢， 就是说博纳因为是一个中国非常重要的一个发行商，所以选择跟博纳的合作可能会得到很多战略上的意义。所以我们也跟 Fox 在探讨2017年新的电影的发行的怎么样能够更好的来协助他们做好。那么说到李安的新电影，这部电影呢是博纳跟 S8还有索尼共同投资的一部电影。那么博纳是主动投资的这部电影，是我们主动去找的李安来决定投，因为这个时候索尼正在谈，还没有决定投资，因为有中方的投资参与，使得索尼很快下定了决心来投资这部电影。所以中国市场现在不仅带来了发行收益的增长，同时也带来了给好莱坞的6大的投资商也坚定了信心。那么这部电影呢，因为李安在中国亚洲是非常有影响的导演，那么我们也做到了这部电影可以同步上映，那么也使得这个电影呢能够引进这个它的最新技术120帧 4K 3D 的这个技术。那么博纳也是在中国也有很多的戏院，在北京我的一个电影院像这样大的一个银幕，我们改造了一个120帧的技术，使得这个电影能够在中国让它体验到这个电影的新的力量。所以我们在这些新电影上都会做很多很多的努力，去帮助一些好电影在中国市场能够取得好的成绩。
好的，谢谢于总。
OK。
听上去说，在发行权之外的话，其实从很多战略上的话也有很多考量。利用博纳现有在国内的资源，可以很大程度上提到一个，哪怕不是说直接发行，但是可以从旁敲侧击给予影片的宣传和推广起到非常好的推波助澜的作用。好，谢谢于总。Okay, my next question is for Bennett. So Bennett, East West Bank has a license to do business in China. And I know that your team has brought your expertise in film lending from Hollywood to China and has been very successful in renminbi lending for Chinese language motion pictures. So as we know, in Hollywood, foreign sales is basically the most important element when it comes to single picture production loan. Although foreign sales is not such a common element for Chinese language productions. So I would imagine when it comes to a production loan, you will have to look at some other resources for repayment of your loan. So can you describe when it comes to production, when you look at lending opportunities in China for Chinese language productions, what collateral and credit considerations you will have when evaluating this project?
Which part should I do first? I think I have it all. I got it all.
Okay.
The first thing I wanted to say is that these two people sitting right here were representing, obviously, Bona and Village Roadshow, were the first two companies that took a chance on us. I can try.
Oh, okay.
They told me not to touch the mic. But
You can now.
is that better? All right. Woo! Nobody wants to hear me talk. They're always telling me, would you shut up? So I'll try here. Anyway, these two were the first to take a chance on us. So we started this group up in 2011, along with Chanel Chen, who's sitting next to Stephen Sharp over there. And Ellen and Mr. Yu were the first ones to say, all right, we'll pretend that you know what you're doing. And that was really important to us. And from Ellen, I really got to learn a lot about China. And I remember the very first time I went to China, and this is going to answer your question, I promise. It was October 2011, and I met with Madame Zhang Xun, who's somewhere in the audience here, and at the time she was running China Film Co-Production. And she said to me, thank you. All right. I guess I'm losing the mic. All right. Anyway, what she said to me is, you seem like you're smart, and you seem like you know what you're talking about, but you really need to understand China better. And so you should come back when you can do something in China. And that was an amazing wake-up call. And I head back to LA, grab the colleagues together, and we decided to abandon what we knew about Western film financing, which ties into your question. Independent film financing in the US is tied to pre-sales and tax credits and special purpose vehicles that Jing and Bruce create all the time for their clients. And we got to take a look at how other banks in China were doing their business. We took a look at how Chinese companies were doing their business. I spent a lot of time with Ellen asking her, how do you move funds in and out? What is your strategy? What's important to you? And so by spending a lot of time with these great companies who had already been invested in China, we were able to figure out, well, to a degree, what we thought was most important. So when we launched our local mainland business, making loans in RMB to finance local production of film and TV shows, we just decided not to do it in the Western style. We do it in the Chinese style, the way other banks in China do it. And that actually helped us to create great relationships, and not just with Village Roadshow and Bona, but with a lot of companies in China who, I don't want to name them all because I'll offend somebody who might be in the audience and say, why didn't you mention us? So by 2014, by that time, we'd probably made about 20 loans in China and felt pretty confident about what we were doing and really understood that process. So when Chinese companies started coming to Hollywood, like Bona, for example, with his great investment with Fox, which I think is up to about 8 pictures right now, and somehow he lets us be involved in the financing of it, so I should say, Shisha, thank you very much for that. And the old Melviny folks who represent him, they don't beat us up that bad, just a little bit. But what we were able to do is not give Bona and our other clients who come over here one option, all right? There's this Western style, there's this very collateral-driven style in terms of how we lend over here. And because of our knowledge of China, what we were able to do is create a Chinese-style structure and give our clients who come over here the choice. So we did this with Hunan Broadcasting, with Lionsgate, with Perfect World, with Universal, obviously with Bona, with Fox, and countless others. We give them various options. You can have a China-style loan, you can have a Western-style loan. I think at the end of the day, it really comes down to building good relationships. It comes down to trust. It comes down to putting what's important to you all the time aside and focusing on what's important for the person who you're trying to serve and put their interests first. And that's how we've been successful in building out this business. And I do want to say, I know I mentioned part of the team earlier. I'm just the guy who likes to talk, but we have a great team who's based in LA, Beijing, Shanghai, and Hong Kong. And they work extremely hard. They work too many hours. And I actually feel kind of guilty about that. But they're the ones who are building trust. They're the ones who are building relationships. They're the ones who are figuring out how to move money back and forth as the rules keep changing and what you need to know. And I think that the reason why the bank's been successful is because the team works so hard, and there's also terrific alignment from the messaging that comes from the CEO and chairman, all the way down to our front line. Everyone's moving in the same direction, and we get to work with amazing people like Ellen Eliasov, Chairman Yu. They're fantastic. They're Taibang La.
You did your one.
你也太棒了。
No one understands me when I say that, but anyway. Did that answer the question?
Yes, you did. Thank you,
Okay.
Bennett. I heard a few
我来
keywords.
补充一下啊，这个那个 Benny 是一个非常智慧的银行家，那他是很真诚的跟你交朋友，对，然后呢，其实呢，我们应该他是一个非常重要的一个作用，发挥了很重要的作用，就是中美电影的两地市场的合拍，有华美银行这样一个两边开户的这样一个银行啊，是非常重要的。大家知道，中国的银行管制是非常严密的，那么外汇出境啊是一个非常 管制非常紧张的一个出口。那么博纳呢，因为是在美国上市，这个阶段的时候呢，因为我们两地都有比较好的户口，所以我们的内保外贷、外保内贷，这个两边都做得很好。所以这方面呢，就是刚好跟它的业务形成了非常好的一个关系。那么大家知道，中国的银行利息是非常高的，差不多要7个点的利息。那么 Benny 给我们差不多是很低的美元的利息，所以中间的这个利息差异是非常大的。所以我都在上海电影节的论坛上替他做推广，我说你们都要去找这个华美银行来做银行的贷款，是非常好的。谢谢你。
Okay. Lower that
Okay,
interest rate
thank
by
you,
1
Bennett.
point.
I heard a few keywords just to summarize. I think basically it's a lot of, it has to build up the trust, and then the trust also has to rely on the organic growth of the business need from both parties, and then you have to be willing to be flexible and also do the localized way. Otherwise, you cannot really impose the model you develop in Hollywood and on a different market. It will not be working. So that's very important.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you, Bennett. I think we get into a very interesting topic, which actually relates to what I want to ask Bruce next. So the role played by professional in a cross-border transaction. So Bruce, you were involved in many high-level US-China collaborations. So you represented Alibaba Group in their partnership with Pac-12 conference to promote their historical Pac-12 China game. You also represented Bona Film in their cooperation with Sealy Group and investment into Fox, Slate Pictures. And you represent Lionsgate in their co-financing deal with Hunan TV and Broadcast. And there are other transactions. I'm not going to cover each of them, but in your process of dealing with people from both China and the US, I want to know your opinion about the lawyer's role in cross-border transaction. The reason I'm asking is because many Chinese companies see lawyers' role as very limited in a business setting. They see lawyers as the people who deal with paperwork once all the terms are negotiated and finalized. So they just hand you the term and ask you to paper it. This is quite different from how US companies work with lawyers. So from your perspective, what do you see attorneys can play a role in a cross-border transaction, and what is so-called the right timing that attorneys should be involved in the process?
Okay. I think that when people come to a firm like ours, like O'Melveny & Myers, they're doing it because we have an expertise in this case, in the entertainment business, because we know the business, we know the studios and the other players in the business, the financiers in the business, the distributors, and they're coming to us not just to help them paper a deal, but to help them structure a deal and to help them with their relationships with the people across the table. And so I think from my perspective, the earlier that we can have input, I think that's the most beneficial for the client. We know the customs and practices generally in the industry. We know the particular business needs of certain of the studios and what they care about the most, and we can help guide the deal making. And it's most effective up front. The problem when we come in later sometimes is we'll identify sometimes a significant business issue, and then it becomes a little bit uncomfortable for the client. So they have to make a decision. Do I raise this point now, even though I had seemingly agreed to something different before, which sometimes is a little embarrassing, sometimes a little uncomfortable, or do I just keep quiet because I don't want to be seen as somebody who's retrading my deal, and as a consequence, I have an inferior deal than what I might have gotten had I you raised it earlier. So, I mean, I like to think of us as, you know, we're lawyers, but we're also advisors. We can, I think, again, the earlier we're involved, I think we can bring the most benefit. Part of it depends too on the client. Some have spent more time here, have more in-house capacity and capabilities, and understand a lot of it. Some are new to dealing with the Hollywood, if you will, and I think, you know, they're going to need to lean on us a little bit more than someone who's been here for years and years.
Thank you, Bruce. With that, I want to shift to our next big subject, which is US-China co-productions. So, Alan, as I introduced you earlier, you're one of the first, or maybe the first, China-based Hollywood executive. And you have spent over 2 decades living in Asia by now. You were involved and also played a critical role in many US-China co-production projects. And this is particularly true after you joined Village Roadshow Asia, whose business model or the majority of its projects are basically structured in a way as US-China co-productions. So what, in your opinion, are the biggest challenges that facing US-China co-production?
Okay, well, anyway, thanks for all of you coming to this rather technical seminar, but I think it's great that the panelists here are all actually making movies in China, doing things together. I have one movie that we are cooperating on with Yudong that East West Bank actually financed part of, and we'll have more in the future. So it's really interesting. And I don't really think of things in terms of co-productions because the Chinese film industry and the film industry in Hollywood, but also in other countries as well, such as Australia and the UK, have really merged into a global film industry. The capital flows, the deal making, the intellectual property flowing across borders is the wave of the future. It's really, you know, finding new types of content and new ways of using technology and great marketing and distribution techniques, some of which have actually been born and nurtured and achieved success first in China and then being rolled out to the rest of the world. So I don't see it so much as challenges of co-productions per se, but I do think that the China market being as big and as important as it is, the stakes have gotten really high to get things right on the business side. As to your point, people who are really doing this from the very, very beginning when they find a project that they think works creatively are starting to do the deal structure before they even start prepping the film. You have to do that because, in fact, I was just speaking with Yudong about this before we came in here. You have to look at, you know, you say co-productions. There are all kinds of things that would fit that definition. For example, I don't know, if Bona invests in a Sony movie or a Fox movie, well, in a way, that's a co-production. But the business model for that movie is the Hollywood business model, where it rolls out globally, hopefully, you know, day and date in the major marketplaces of the world. I think Yudong's absolutely right that, especially for the China market, when you have a big movie, that's really, really important. It rolls out over multiple media platforms. So some of the movies that Chinese companies are investing in now, whether it's the ones that Yudong is doing or through slate deals, those are Hollywood movies. So the business mechanisms, the financing and the recoupment of money mechanisms for those is pretty straightforward, and these are set, you know, methodologies that have been living for many years. When you talk about a movie that is what in your mind might be the traditional Sino-foreign co-production, where it's going to be released in China as its first market of release. Now, hopefully, if you have a great movie, not only will it release first in China, but it will also release globally. But for a Sino-foreign co-production, you have to have China as your initial release market because it's deemed to be a Chinese movie. So the business model for that, and putting aside, because this is not a panel about how do you pick the right movies if you're looking to approach the Chinese audience as the primary audience for the movie. And Yudong has said many, many brilliant things about that over the years. I think he is the smartest, always ahead of the marketplace in terms of how he chooses movies. And that's why Bona is our partner of choice for all of the movies that we're making in China. But putting that aside, you've got a movie, you think it's going to be viable in the China marketplace, then you call Bennett and you call Yudong because you're looking at a revenue stream coming out of a country, because we would not invest in a Chinese movie or a co-production if we didn't think that it was going to do really well in the China market. It's just not interesting to us. For example, we wouldn't invest in a boy meets girl movie where the boy is from New Zealand and the girl is from China, and the people promoting the movie are going, well, we think this is going to be really great because we'll get a great actor from New Zealand and we'll get a great actress from China, and the end result will be that it doesn't work anywhere because nobody cares. So, so you really have to think about, target audience. Target audience, you think about who's going to pay to see your movie, who's going to distribute it theatrically, who's going to distribute it online in China. And then you think about, okay, you model the revenue streams. How are you going, as a foreign company, how are you going to get your money out? Because you can have a great movie, but if the film revenues are locked up in China because you can't get foreign currency converted to remitted, or you can, but it's taxed in a way that makes it almost impossible for you ever to make profit on the movie, even if the Chinese partners have done well with it because they're distributing, because they're earning distribution fees, because they are renminbi to renminbi. But as a foreign investor, you can have a lot of problems occurring, and the more successful your movie is, the bigger the problems are. So that's the deal making for Sino-foreign co-productions, and you have to think about it before you start shooting, even maybe before you start spending money on the film. So that's why you need deal-making expertise like you have assembled on this panel today.
Thank you, Alan. That's a very wise suggestion. Tag along on what you just said, I have a question for Mr. Yudong. So, 那于总，刚才那个 Alan 也对于是说合拍这种模式，不同模式的合拍做了一个阐述，以及从 Village Roadshow 的角度来看这个合拍模式，从一个外方的角度来看这种合作模式需要考量的因素。那合拍是这2年来的一个热门词。那据统计的话，在去年1年以及今年年初到现在，向合拍公司申请做就是符合中国法规的那个中外合拍片的数量达到了历史的高点。那从博纳来讲的话，你们对于我讲是一个特别的一个合拍片的概念，不考虑说你们向外投资去参与好莱坞影片制作，而是说是一个符合中国法规的一个合拍片。你们对这种影片，你们的态度或者说策略是如何？然后对于像从创意角度来讲的话，您认为有没有可能可以找到这样一个故事、一个题材，既能够满足在中国的一个法规审核层面的要求，同时又能在商业程度去迎合中国本地观众以及世界领域的观众的口味？
OK， 这个我觉得中国市场的快速增长，给到了世界很多的国家的电影公司、制片人还有导演一个非常积极的一个信息，就是可以跟中方一起来拍中国故事。 那么我一直主张就是说，合拍影片，大家是两个机构或者是两个拍档一起来探讨，一起来产生这样的一个共鸣，大家讨论一些想法。那么，其实现在很难有一部都能够满足市场的这样的题材，这是一个非常难的一个事情，不是说没有可能，但是是很难的，就是既能够在美国发行，也能够在中国取得好的成绩。所以说，我觉得现在的两个中美两地的制作人应该想好一个问题，就是我这个题材是一个中文故事，那就以中方机构为主的，你就参与投资，来发行中文电影。那么这个题材是一个英语市场的故事，那么中方的投资就是一个投资，来以英语市场为主导的，所以不要把它混淆在一起。就是要拍这个项目，如果是这个英文故事，那就以美方的合作方为主。那么，博纳现在也在做这样的尝试，就是说，我们投资的，包括李安的电影，包括Fox 电影，就是英文电影，我们就是投资，但是中国可能会引进发行，我们来协助，帮到投资方，大家是一个共同的一个利益。那么我们还在做一个事情，就是把一个中国的故事放到美国来，请美国的导演、制片人来完成，就是一个英语片。但是这个人物可能是中国的，我们可能中方的市场可能不会有很大，但是是以好莱坞西方的这个英语市场为主。我可以透露一个信息，就是我们现在很希望把一个我们在中国已经卖了3集的非常成功的一个电影，叫《窃听风云》，叫英文叫 Overheard。那么这个项目呢，翻拍到美国来，变成一个纽约华尔街金融犯罪的一个警匪片，但是就是一个英语片，所以请美国导演拍，请美国演员来演，这样一个故事，而不是仅仅只卖一个翻拍的版权。我们希望能够投资一半，能够跟好莱坞的拍档一起来投这个电影，所以这可能是又是一个新的一个机会的一个合拍的领域，可能都不需要报合拍公司的做成一个，就是刚才你说的那个政策上的那个，我就是一个美国电影，将来让它在中国引进发行就可以了。对，
那于总在这边已经伸出了橄榄枝，各位有意向的话，赶快跟于总接洽。
我就请律师还要你们来帮我们做。
好的，没问题。Okay, let's now take a look at the market generally. So Bennett, going back to you, you have over 25 years experience dealing with financing transactions in the entertainment sector. So many people are comparing the current wave of Chinese investment to Hollywood, to the waves of investment from France, from Japan, from India during the past 2 decades. And some of them predict that this current wave will not last long. So what are your thoughts about the sustainability of the Chinese investment to Hollywood, both as a source for co-financing and as a potential purchaser of filmed entertainment-related assets?
Very good question.
Thank you.
Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay. Sorry. When you look at your trends, let's say at the studios, in terms of waves of investment, there were insurance company. Well, I guess there was Japanese investment. I guess talking about buying some studios in France. I think it was limited to Vivendi, but there was also the German newer market about 10, 15 years ago, where every German company wanted to buy significant assets here. You had insurance companies, you had hedge funds. Everybody was coming in. And it was purely a financial play. It wasn't about infrastructure. I think what's different about China is that there's a very strong, viable, healthy business. When you're looking from the China perspective, probably the one differential would be that in China, the revenue sources are a little bit more limited than you would find for English language movies, where you don't have the same drive in foreign sales. Your foreign sales are limited in terms of a value add, limited to the greater Southeast Asian area.
Yep.
Not that you can't sell the rights worldwide, but English language movies just travel better.
Yep.
When you look at streaming, right now, every film we're involved with in China, every TV show we're involved with in China is selling streaming rights. That 3 years ago, that wasn't happening. 5 years ago, wasn't happening. You go on panels back in 2012, 2013, even up to 2014, everybody's talking about piracy. DVDs don't exist anymore. Streaming rights is a huge, huge, huge business. So as Chinese filmmakers are putting together their capital sources, now it's not just what's the box office or what's just the MG from satellite broadcasters, but streaming's playing a huge important role. I would like to see more emphasis on foreign sales, if it could be from any territory, on a lot of the Chinese content that we're involved with. You know, tax credits is starting to come up in China as well. So, and so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But the first question you'd asked me earlier today was about the difference in financing models. Any independent producers here trying to put their film together, they're going to shoot where the tax credit is. So all that being said, when we tie that back to the wave of what's happening, that you look, I don't want to speak for Chairman Yu, but he has a strategy, and I'll let him tell you that later, why he's investing in Fox Pictures. There's a strategy. For Perfect World, there's a strategy. For Village Roadshow, there's a strategy. So when you look at the big, significant companies in China who are investing in Hollywood or internationally, it's a strategic purpose. And when you invest from strategic purpose, you're able to have much more continuity and create real partnerships. Last thing I wanted to add is something that Ellen had talked about in her question about co-productions. And we have a lot of familiarity with the movies that Ellen's involved with. A lot of them are Chinese language movies. She's making Chinese language movies. It's still a co-production because her company is not from mainland China. So when she was speaking earlier, the thought process that she puts into this is what everybody really needs to know. She knows how to navigate through the co-production world and how to talk with the China co-production corporation and China Film Group. And she knows how to build these relationships. She does everything earlier. A couple weeks ago, she called me. It was the middle of the night. I forgot if it was my middle of the night or your middle of the night.
Yours.
I don't even remember if I was in China or here. She's like, I got this big problem. I need your help right now. And it was a very thoughtful conversation about how she would structure this picture, which was a local language picture in China, would have significant tax implication. I don't care who you are, you're making movies. If you can't create a commercial return, no one's going to give you money again to do it again. And it's the thought process she puts through is what makes her more successful. So I was saying earlier, I learned everything from her. I wasn't kidding. And so that's something that if you take away one thing today, it's how Ellen approaches the co-production world, I think is the number one thing.
Thank you, Bennett. Thank you. Alan, so when I was preparing for this panel and the topics, and I came across some interviews of yours from before, and something you said at that interview resonates with me. Just to be accurate, and I have the quote in front of me. The best way for someone who is a foreigner that wants to do business in China to succeed is to listen to what the Chinese industry is telling us. This is exactly what you are trying to tell us earlier at this panel. So my question is, what is the Chinese entertainment industry telling us right now?
there's different players. Obviously, there's the business people and the film investors, the distributors, and very, very, very importantly, the audience. And I think I'd like to say a little bit about the audience, even though this veers off of the how to structure a deal. It's more who are you structuring it for and who are you making the movie for. The Chinese audience is the most sophisticated, most discriminating, and as audience members, most creative audience in the world. They have a great appetite for every kind of film, and putting aside what they watch online in terms of television, in terms of, premium television programming, they are so well informed. And the reason I think is, first of all, Chinese people love 热闹. They love to be together in a place. They love an event. It's much more satisfying to them to be experiencing something in a group with their peers, and that helps the film going so much because, in other parts of the world, people are opting out from that because they're sort of isolated from other people. The Chinese audience today grew up with the internet. They grew up with social media. They grew up sharing their excitement with their friends, and it happens all the time. When I was working for Warner Brothers in China and we had an import movie coming out, the first thing I would do was go online and see what people in China were saying about it, whether they were saying it because it had already released outside of China and they were anticipating it, or whether it had released. And this whole, sharing with other people is really important to the audience. And it drives so much of what happens with whether movies are successful or unsuccessful in China. What the Chinese audience basically is telling us is the same thing that they're telling each other. They want to see a well-made movie that respects the audience. It doesn't mean it has to be a work of art. It has to be, if it's a funny movie, it has to be really funny in a smart, funny way, and they'll love it. If it's, a beautiful, thoughtful movie like The Revenant, for example, it has to be beautifully executed with all of the creative contributions in place in the service of a unified artistic vision. The Chinese audience has the discrimination and judgment to tell what's a good movie and what's a bad movie. And if we're making a Chinese movie, because on Hollywood movie terms, they will find excellence on Hollywood terms. If it's a Chinese movie, they will switch on a different part of their brain and they're looking for something different. And that's so exciting because what they're telling us is that there's other ways to make movies than we do in Hollywood. So if we want to be successful in China, we need to find those ways to make them full of all kinds of extraneous, crazy detail going on screen at the same time, because that's what they're looking for, a sense of fullness, a sense of satisfaction, a sense of, wow, the filmmakers thought about me and they put all these really cool tricks into the movie and I found it, that sort of thing. So that's that. And in terms of the business side, and obviously I don't want to go on too long, but what they're telling Hollywood is that there are much smarter, much more cost-effective ways of marketing movies than Hollywood has done in the past. And to the extent that Hollywood can start learning from this with online, really robust presence online, Hollywood films will find that their P&A costs are going to go down even for their own movies. So there's so much that we can learn if we just pay attention to what the people are saying, to what our business partners are saying. Yeah.
Thank you, Alan. That's very true. What you said reminded me of my experience back in China last year. When I was visiting Shanghai, my hometown, for the Shanghai Film Festival, and then I went to see this animation movie called Monkey King is Return.
Yeah.
I think the English title, Chinese title is like 大圣归来. So that is a very well-made animation movie, but from what I heard, the producer is running out of money, so they didn't really have that much money to put on the printing and advertising. But it turns out the movie has such good reputation, as you pointed out. People go to see it in groups, and they post it on their WeChat, on their blog, about how great this movie is. And also, this is a story that they can relate to. This is based on one of the most famous stories in China. So they basically just promote this movie basically like voluntarily, and we call them 自来水 or 水晶. So it's fascinating how much the promotion come from the fan base, like made this movie very successful and become one of the most successful movie last year.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so I have one more question for Bruce, and then I'm all going to open up for Q&A. So Bruce, to conclude this panel, I do feel it will be very helpful from an attorney's perspective for you to give some suggestions to our Chinese investors. So as the collaborations between US, China in the entertainment sector has broadening and also like deepening, more and more Chinese companies are coming to Hollywood looking for opportunities. And the opportunities can come in many different forms. It varies from single picture co-production, co-financing, to slate financing, co-financing, or to equity investment or form a joint film fund, and so on and so forth. So some of the companies come here with an idea in their mind what type of deals they're looking for, or what type of deals will suit them the best. But I was asked by many Chinese companies and investors what is the right approach or what is the right form of investment for them to invest into Hollywood. So this is not an easy question to answer, and I don't think there's a one answer fits all kind of thing. But from your perspective, what if you are giving advice to Chinese companies and investors who are coming or considering coming to Hollywood, what would be the top 3 most important things they should take into account before they head this way?
Okay. I would say first, if you're going to come, have a plan, have a strategy, have some goals. Like, why are you coming? Are you coming for purely financial reasons, or are you coming for strategic reasons? If you're coming for strategic reasons because you want to get distribution, you want to get access to distribution rights in China, that needs to be at the core of your deal making. If you're coming here because you want to learn about the business and the way it's done here, so you can bring it back to China and implement it, or with localize it, but put it there. Make sure that you have access at the studio, for example, to the development and the production and the marketing processes, so you can actually learn something. So that would be 1. 2 is, if you're coming and you want to get something done, put yourself in the best position to be able to close a deal. That would mean when studios or any company is looking to evaluating bidders, first thing they want to know is who can close, who can actually get a deal done. A challenge for a company in China is going to be, the first question is, do you have your money, or do you have to go raise your money? If you have your money, is it onshore or offshore, right? If you don't have your money yet and it's going to be raised onshore in China, I'm not saying that's a bad approach. I'm just saying you're going to be at a competitive disadvantage with somebody who already has their money and has it sitting in Hong Kong, or, for example. It's just you're making it harder for yourself to be taken seriously, or certainly to be prioritized amongst the bidders. The third thing I would say is, and this is true when every wave of outside investments come to Hollywood, is be very, very careful about who you choose as your partners, as your advisors. There's lots of wonderful, wonderful people here that want to help you, that can be tremendous value add to what you're doing. There are other people that are going to try to further their own interests as opposed to your own. So, do your due diligence, understand, who's real, who can actually, get things done, make introductions, has industry knowledge and experience, ask questions, get advisors that can be beneficial to your process, and engage them.
Thank you, Bruce. Definitely talk to Bennett and lawyers.
Yes.
Okay, let's get a round of applause for our speakers and thank them for the great thoughts. So now it's an opportunity for you to ask questions. This gentleman here.
My name is James. First of all, thank you for the panel. I have a question. So when I think about co-productions, I think about tentpole movies or big studio films. Whereas in the United States, there's just even a saturation of independent films and filmmakers. Can you speak to the deal making of co-productions in an independent event, or if the infrastructure exists for that between China and the U.S.?
Which speaker do you want to ask this question to? Whoever can
Pretty
take
much
it.
everyone.
Alan, do you want to take it?
Or if I can specify, what Ellen said was very interesting to me. She said the Chinese audience is very discriminating and they're seeking more content, and I kind of inferred it sounds like they might also look for more niche content, and perhaps I could ask Ellen.
Oh, boy, that's a tough question. I mean, are you a filmmaker?
Yes, I'm an indie writer-director.
Oh, okay. Well, the key really is your movie being made as an American indie movie, which is seeking distribution in China, or is the idea that you want to make your movie as a co-production with a Chinese partner? Which is it? The first.
Probably the former.
The first one.
Yes.
Okay, so you may be doing an indie film here, but you're hoping that it will get distributed in China, or that some Chinese company will invest in it?
Correct.
Okay. If you have an indie film that has a really good script and that has a really good talent attachment, i.e. a director or a great actor who's attached to it, there may be a possibility that a Chinese company would want to invest in it and to have the rights to distribute it in China, and also some share of the worldwide revenue. But it would have to be a really compelling, creative, and talent attachment proposition, because as anywhere, indie movies, whether they're in the States or in China, which doesn't really have a marketplace for more artistic kind of edgy movies, even if they're Chinese, they often have trouble getting distribution. But again, if there's a talent attached, and that talent is somehow a talent that's recognized by the Chinese industry and by the Chinese audience, you may have a shot at attracting Chinese investment from a company like Bona or a smart distribution company that goes, okay, I can make this movie work in China because I know how to market it. If it's just an indie movie and it's not got anything in particular to recommend it to the Chinese audience, I don't think that the Chinese investors would necessarily find much value in it. And I'm not trying to be negative or, discourage you, but there are certain things where Chinese investors will find value, and they have to be something that will sell in China, and that's really why they would do something like that.
May I add a comment to that?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm kind of cynical, I apologize. But if you look at any marketplace, if it's France, Germany, China, Korea, look at what works.
Yeah.
So I don't think you're going to find indie Western movies that could even win Academy Awards that are going to work in China in terms of a significant way. There was this great movie that I liked. It was called Begin Again, right?
Oh,
Keira
yeah.
Knightley. And,
Yeah, Keira Knightley.
what's
And,
that guy's name?
Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah. That was a cute movie. friend of mine actually bought distribution rights in China, and then she had to wait like a year and a half before she could release it. And then by that time, nobody really wanted to see it. So I would kind of start in the opposite direction and just look at what works and use that as a guide, I guess.
Thank you.
That's why I don't produce. I'm sorry.
This lady here at the first row.
Oh, thank you so much. My name is Jennifer. I'm from Chicago. 我是来自芝加哥的。So can I ask a question? Thank you.
Is it about Game 7?
Game 7. Woo!
Oh,
Oh, second. Row?
you can
Maybe
take
she
it.
doesn't follow baseball.
You want to be the next? Is that okay? Okay, thank you.
So sorry.
No, it's okay.
Hold on. 我想问李总一个问题。
The mic is on the way.
非常喜欢您的电影，然后也感谢您在中国电影业所做的贡献。那我想问一下，您在进军好莱坞的时候，当然您刚才提到了说把一些中国的题材翻拍成美国的电影，我觉得非常好。那您现在最想合作的著名的演员或者是导演是谁呢？想问一下这个问题。
That's a very interesting question.
美国导演是吧？美国演员哈，我希望都能够有机会合作，因为
Very diplomatic.
因为
Wants to work with all
我
of us.
希望就是不同的题材了，啊，要请，其实现在中国的市场越来越能够兼容到世界市场去，因为中国的刚才艾伦讲的就是这个中国的观众是被多年的盗版的全世界的最新电影训练出来的，啊，因为他们都是从网上看到的最新的世界电影，过去从 DVD 上看，现在就从这个网上去看，所以他们是接受的世界电影的信息是最快的，所以这也训练了中国的观众跟影迷啊，尤其是互联网的发达，啊，迅速把每一个导演的一个新片出来之后，你会在网上看到他过去历史上拍过所有的电影的影评、记录或他的全世界的这种各种版本的介绍，啊，所以就说中国观众是很有训练的，所以在中国能够拍出能够有票房的电影，实际上是可以到世界发行的电影，啊，所以我觉得有这样的观众的检验的电影是世界通行的题材来的，啊，那么我觉得美国的导演、制片人其实应该有机会去尝试去拍一部中文的，不是拍到中国去拍片，啊，其实很多的中国导演都来好莱坞拍过片，包括以前的吴宇森啊，现在张艺谋啊都来拍，啊，吴宇森还好，张艺谋英文都不会的，啊，那么能拍英文电影，所以就是美国导演也可以尝试拍中国电影，不用学会中文的，有很多翻译帮他去完成就行了。我觉得从电影语言上，这个是相通的，一定要有这样的经历。所以，我很希望就说美国的大导演们选择跟中国拍中国的故事。对 ，OK， 谢谢。
Hi, everybody. My name is Christian Hernandez from DDN Pictures. And my question is regarding co-production. We've talked a lot about, and I've heard throughout the different panels, about Hollywood movies filming in China. But are Chinese movies coming to the States to film? And if they are you aware or do you know of the difference in cost of shooting in LA versus shooting in China? And this question, I'm sorry, this is for Mr. Dong and Ms. Ellen.
Oh, but he's the one who actually knows the answer.
Perfect.
No, really? Oh, clunk. No? All right, okay. I've worked on a couple of movies where Chinese crews have filmed outside of China, and there are so many difficulties with that. which don't just have to do with cost. They have to do with complying with legal requirements that exist in all very developed film industries, whether it's the US or Australia or Canada, as opposed to operating in China, which, for example, doesn't have guilds and doesn't have rules about how many hours a day one has to work. And so when you talk about cost, it's like night and day, because there are no legal requirements that cause people in China to have to undertake these additional costs. So it's much more expensive to shoot in the US than in China. And there's also just the feasibility of being able to shoot here, because you have to have visas for people coming to work here. And the visa requirements are very strict. And so you wouldn't do it unless you had an absolute need for storytelling purposes to shoot in the US. You would do it anywhere else where you could fake for the US, which you could even do in China, which would be cheaper. And otherwise, it wouldn't be something that I would, look to do with most of the Chinese movies that we're investing in. I don't know if Yudong or Bennett have another.
Maybe before Mr. Yu address this question, I just want to mention we are out of time, so we will just take one more question, and then to the extent the rest of the audience has questions, you're welcome to come to the stage afterwards.
Thank you.
I have a question for Ellen. I was fascinated by your observations about the cultural differences in movie-going among young people. What can American exhibitors learn from the way Chinese exhibitors are doing business on the retail side? Because I think there are some differences here. I'd be interested in, Ellen, in your observation.
Well, Yudong's probably better qualified to talk about this because he actually runs cinemas in China.
Okay.
But I would say that essentially in China, by the time anyone's even gotten near a movie theater, they already have so much awareness of what's playing online and from their friends that, to be a successful exhibitor in China, you really have to have a very strong presence online and in social media to bring people to your cinema. And I would now turn it over to Yudong, because I'm sure he has more detail on that.
Waiting for the translation to be finished.
这个中国的这个电影院啊、院线啊，跟这个美国的院线是不一样的。实际上，中国就是一个大院线啊，因为同时每周呢要上8到15部这样的新片，啊是非常拥挤的。因为没有一个错落的排片的机制，所以就是每周呢就是上映。那么根据它的影院是选择性的来放映的，所以影院的决定性很大，所以就靠你的宣传，靠你的广告，靠你的卖座。那么现在中国又发明了一个互联网的预售，预售呢就是提前在网上看你的销售第一天的票房，那么你第一天的数据好的话，所以它这个影院就会多排这个电影，它不会根据更多的其他数据，就完全靠预售，所以这就变成呢，预售呢是可以作假的，可以买票的。所以中国就出了很多由于互联网这个销售啊，包括低票价，什么9块9啊，19块9啊，就是这样的低价的这种销售，所以就变成现在在中国的营销发行是非常复杂的一个这个事情。那么，当你第一天票房不好的时候，你第二天的场次就没有了，几乎很少了。所以，因为每周都有很多片子， 的发行。那么这样的一个机制，就造成了一个大家非常拼命的就去抢第一天的票房，这是现在目前的一个非常不好的一个现象。但是呢，中国是在发展中的，这些问题也都在逐渐的解决。所以就是我刚才我想回答你的是说，在中国一个艺术片第一天票房，别说第一天票房，就是你在预售上都没有成绩的话，你是在院线拿不到场次的。所以你不要指望中国是一个能够在电影院上赚钱的一个生意。中国的网络版权是很值钱的，你可以在互联网上去销售你的电影。那么这个就带来了一个什么呢？因为你在院线发行了，中国有4万张银幕，你会投入很大很大的营销的费用，来吸引所有的电影院关注到你，然后能够达到第一天的卖票的这样的一个数据，才会给你带来院线的收益。所以在中国是一个没有艺术院线、没有这个单独排映的机会的，因为片子太多了。我们进口影片的数量还是限制的，中国一年可以自己生产的产量的有700部电影，大概有300多部是可以在院线放映的，还有差不多100多部的电影的进口影片，包括分账的大片，还有一些买断片，还有一些特殊的技术的电影。所以这些电影每周差不多8部新片，至少8部新片在上映，每天至少1部，一年就52个星期天呀。所以就是58 400多部电影放映，平均。所以这是一个非常拥挤的市场，还没有错落排片的机制。我不知道回答了你的问题没有，所以就要你的电影能够要有绝对的票房的那个，尤其是第一天的票房，我不知道我说清楚没有这个道理。
非常关键。
对，
谢谢于总。
Okay.
Thanks to all the speakers here, and thank you for joining us today.
好。